Welcome to part 1 of planning spring as a family photographer. Each of the days of this week, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'm just going to be giving you a few actionable tips that you can work towards booking out your spring calendar. Your task today is to take a look back at last spring. So you want to take a look at what went well and what caused resentment. The reason this step is important is because the last thing we want to do is build out a spring that is going to cause you to feel that level of resentment. So this is how I track resentment in my business. If I feel excited to go to the session, I know resentment is low. If I feel happy after I finish the session, I know resentment is low. And if I'm happy sending the invoice, I know resentment is low. So each of those three things, if you are feeling resentment around something, they can be fixed by tweaking certain things in your business. But for now, we want to think about the sessions that you had last spring that went well, and we want to avoid any sessions that you had last spring that caused you to feel really resentful. And if you haven't had a spring yet, then you need to think about other sessions that you've had and what boundaries you need in place to make sure that you are happy doing this work. Okay, so once you figured out how to structure the session so that you're not going to feel resentful, the next and only first task that you have for today is to make sure that you have a place to send potentially interested clients, whether that's a blog post that's centered around your spring sessions or a spring-centered info page that would just be a page on your website. Ideally, you want these to have information about the sessions, examples of past galleries that you've had. If you don't have examples, you could put together some sort of mood board that's getting across the idea of what they're going to look like, all the resources that you provide as a photographer, whether that's planning the location or planning out the day or helping with styling, and then information about how you best work as an artist. So I call this my artist process. It's kind of like, I'm going to show up with this type of energy and I want you to show up with this type of energy because that's the type of photographer I am. So you basically want this page to be a one-stop shop for building trust with you as the photographer and learning about whatever it is you're trying to book for spring. Okay, so that's all for today. And you may be thinking like, I need more, I want to do more. But what I found after mentoring a lot of photographers about marketing is that marketing can feel really overwhelming. You'll run into mental blocks, you'll run into fear, you'll run into comparison. So taking little tiny bites at a time is what is going to help you actually get the task done. So tune in tomorrow for part 2.